Hey guys, Max here. Do you feel like everyone around you is super confident and super strong? Are you at a point where you want to become more confident but don't quite know how to do it? Well, here are 9 ways that you can get more confident starting right now, today. Let's go. All right, first one, and this is one that has become taboo because almost nobody does this, but it's dressing nicely. It just changes the way I think about life. No joke. If I'm wearing sweats and a t-shirt and I'm attempting to work from home, which is what I do, I don't quite accomplish as much as when I wear a full suit with a tie. Now that's nothing against people who like to dress casually. I like to dress casually as well. It's just when I dress up, when I am prepared, when I shave, when I make my hair look relatively okay, then I can really conquer the world. And I've also heard people say, oh, it's super expensive to buy a suit to look really nice. Really? Well, I can find suits on Men's Warehouse for a suit all put together. It's $170. Now that seems like a lot of money, and I would agree with you, that is a lot of money, but that's for the coat as well as the pants, and you can choose your size. That's pretty awesome. If that's too much money, $170, that's okay. You don't need the full suit. I prefer it, but you can buy a sport coat, and that's literally $60 finding a deal. That's too much? About $45, and that's a nice tuxedo jacket. And then lastly, if you really are pressed tight, here's one from Macy's. Literally $23 for a sport coat. Yeah, I wouldn't wear brown personally, but even if these don't work out, you can go to the thrift store and literally find a whole suit for less than $20. There's no excuse. No excuse money-wise. I just know when I dress up, when I look nice, I look myself in the mirror, and I can really conquer the world. I'm ready to conquer whatever's in front of me. Next thing, do things that are difficult voluntarily. Remember when you were younger and your mother or your father, whoever came in to wake you up, always said, wake up, it's time for school. There was no really any responsibility to take because there was always someone telling you what you had to do. Yeah, as an adult now, that doesn't exist. You could spend all day in your pajamas watching Netflix. I wouldn't advise it, maybe every once in a while if you're having a leisure day, but doing things that are super easy are just that, super easy. Is it difficult to wake up at 5 a.m.? Well, I think for most people it is. Do it. Is it difficult to go to the gym? Is it difficult to do things that you don't want to do? Well, simply because you don't want to do them, that is the universe, and I think the man above, guiding you in the right direction, because things that are difficult are always worthwhile. Let me rephrase that. Things that are difficult are worthwhile. Things that are easy are almost never worthwhile. The only way you can really improve and upgrade your life, upgrade everything in your life, whatever it may be, succeeding and becoming confident is by doing things difficult. There's nobody who became super successful by sitting on their rear and doing nothing. It does not exist. Next is do not apologize for being you authentically with humility. Now people say, oh, don't apologize for being authentic. That means I can be a dickhead. No, do not be arrogant. Don't be a dickhead. That's why I said with humility. You can be absolutely authentic yourself and tell the truth in every single scenario. You want to be authentic because people like authenticity and you like authenticity. Have you ever found someone who's really fake and not real? Don't be the friend who says they're going to do things and then not do it. That is the epitome of being fake. Be authentic, tell the truth, be humble though. Know that you are just another person that has many flaws, and those around you, I'm sure they will point those out for you. So be humble. You are not perfect. However, be authentic. So that means when there's difficult conversations, don't shy away from them. Tell them what you actually think. What's your opinion? If it's a place for you to share your opinion. If someone's asking your opinion, do not lie. Lying and fibbing and telling small lies and telling big lies, it all ends up being a way that you sell your soul, and a little bit of you dies every single time. So do not lie. It's not worth it in the long run, I promise you. The fastest way you can feel like a little weenie is by apologizing for being yourself. Be yourself always. Next, make commitments and stick to them, even if those commitments are only to yourself. When you tell yourself you have a book you want to finish this week, do it. When you tell yourself, I'm going to call my mother and see how she's doing, do it. When you tell someone you're going to be at a certain place at a certain time, make sure you are there. Prepare for traffic. No excuses. When you make a commitment, follow through on it. The more you follow through on your commitments, the more confident you'll be. Well, oh, I did these small commitments. I was able to wake up at this certain time, read the book I was going to read, and call my mother. Now you can make the larger commitments. It's the small things precede the larger things. So start with the small commitments, and you'll get more and more confident every single time you finish that commitment. Work on improving yourself. or as some people call it, personal development or self-development. And the ways I've done this is read a lot or listen to audiobooks. Don't say, I don't have time for it. That's literally the worst excuse ever. Or even worse, I can't concentrate. Yeah, well, how are you able to concentrate on things that are important to you? How can you play video games or watch TV 3 hours straight and concentrate on that? I think we're at a crossroads of what is actually important and what is a priority. Figure out what the priorities are. I have harnessed many people's knowledge and many books to help myself in this journey, and there's a few that I really recommend reading, and here they are. First one would be 12 Rules for Life. It's an antidote to chaos. There's so much chaos in this world, and Jordan Peterson really breaks down how to be a mountain in these hurricane type moments, in these parts of life where it's just literally like, if you ask yourself, would you say life is crazier than it was 10 years ago? I would say by a thousand times over, it's been absolutely crazier. This really helped me understand, what's actually important in life, figuring out what your values are, which is really important. Next would be by Jocko Willink, Discipline Equals Freedom. The reality is the only way you can have actual freedom in this life is by being disciplined. The only way you can be disciplined is by choosing to do it every single day. It's not easy by any means, but it's totally worth it. The more discipline you have equals to the more freedom you have. So if you want financial freedom, whatever it may be, confidence in this aspect, if you discipline yourself, I promise you'll get more and more confident. Another one by Jocko, Extreme Ownership. They teach this how U.S. Navy SEALs lead and win. Well, the question you have to ask yourself is, do you want to win? To me, being confident is a complete win. So the more and more you take ownership of every single aspect, yes, that doesn't mean only the small things, the large things and the small things. Every single aspect of your life, take responsibility and ownership for, and I promise you will become more confident every single time you take more ownership. Because the reality is, when you take ownership of something, now you can do something about it. Until you take ownership of something, it's someone else's issue. It's someone else's fault. But the reality is it's not someone else's fault. It's really all my fault. Most of my issues that I have in my life, if I look in the mirror, I know where the problem is and where the solution lies. It's upgrading my thinking. I think it's Einstein who said, the level of thinking that created the problem is not going to create the solution. So you need to upgrade your thinking, and the more you take ownership of your life, the more you can become confident, and the more you have freedom. Next is by David Goggins, marathon, ultra marathon runner, crazy guy, can't hurt me. Was this huge fella, and is a really, really in shape guy now. Has run won many different ultra marathon type situations. This can't hurt me. Master your mind and defy the odds. The reality is, if you can master your mind and master your habits, master your decision making, master everything, you can totally defy what you believe life should be, which you believe that others are pushing upon you. The more and more you master this thing that's between your mind, the more you can have and be everything you want to be in life. So you will defy all the odds and defy everything that your family thinks you should or shouldn't do, you think you should or shouldn't do. The ceiling that you think is there is really a glass ceiling, and you can break through it. And then lastly, one of the first personal development books I ever read, way back in the day, my goodness, almost 4 years ago, is Relentless, From Good to Great to Unstoppable. This is by Tim Grover. Tim Grover, rest in peace, Kobe Bryant, was one of Kobe Bryant's really influential mentors throughout his life. Kobe Bryant and Dwayne Wade's two of the NBA basketball great legends. Rest in peace, Kobe. And this really helped me understand that you can start good, but how do you get to good, to great, to unstoppable? Well, the reality is you have to, again, going back to all these books, it's mastering your mind. It's mastering your habits. It's mastering how you think about things. Because the reality is your brain controls everything. You think your emotions control everything? No. You're able to train this and master this so that you choose when you're excited. You choose when you're furious, and you choose when to act upon these. People who say I was overcome by emotion, okay, to an extent, I understand. That means, I was overcome by emotion and it hit me in a good way. That's fine. But overcome by emotion and I hit somebody, or I did something physical or something that's very much frowned upon, definitely not. You can definitely master your mind, and this book really helped me understand how to master my mind more and more. If you guys are enjoying this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. The question of the day is this: what personal development book or what book have you seen that you're thinking about pulling the trigger on that you think, or the ones you've already read that have really helped you? I want to hear what you guys have, because I am always open to book suggestions. Comment right now. Next one, super important. Surround yourself with positive people. And that's not the yes man type that say, oh, you're perfect just the way you are. You do you. You go king or queen, depending upon what's going on in your life. Those are not the kind of people. I'm talking about the kind of people who always bring you back to reality, encourage you to pursue your goals, hold you accountable when you're not pursuing your goals, and those type of people. Now, the people you want to avoid, I can call leeches. The people who suck energy, time, resources out of you, and they don't provide anything in return. Now, that's not meaning that you should be selfish in every single relationship. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying there's a give and take, a symbiotic relationship. Find people who are symbiotic and there's a give and take, and not always a give. And if you're a person who always takes, you really need to take a look in the mirror. And I'm all about forgiving, making things right, reconciling, but there comes to a point, especially those who share the same last name as you, that you may have to start distancing yourself because they don't have the vision that you have for your life. The moment that you put into the world that you're going to start improving yourself and, in essence, improve the world around you, the devils come out, the demons come out, and they want to stop that. They want to stop everything good. Just be prepared for that. Those speed bumps are going to happen no matter what, no matter who you are. It's not going to be an easy process improving yourself. You have to go through the refiner's fire. You have to refine yourself, and that takes a lot of heat and a lot of pressure. However, on the other end, it's all worth it, I promise you. So anyway, choose people who hold you accountable, push you to become stronger, and then lastly, encourage you. Having encouragement is a hot commodity nowadays. Find those who encourage you and you encourage them on their pursuit to become better and better. 7, listen to encouraging videos. I use YouTube, although I'm not the biggest fan of Google. I use YouTube to listen to encouraging videos that really keep my mind in an elevated state. Once you start listening to negativity all the time, whether it be music, audiobooks, or just people around you, you need to have a time where it's just you and you're elevating your mind often. And it's not something that happens every once in a while. It's not even a daily thing. It's really, for me, an hourly thing. I literally watch videos and go through encouraging content all the time because I have a proclivity towards negativity, and I want to stay on that optimistic. Because the more I'm optimistic, the more I become confident, and you know how that works. I become stronger, I start doing things I should do, and the next thing I know, I look back the last couple of weeks and say, man, I've accomplished a lot these last couple of weeks. I love saying that, and I say, let's do it again for these next 2 weeks. Believe it or not, the authors of the books I just talked about earlier are also some of the YouTube channels. So here are some YouTube channels I really encourage to help you become more confident and stronger. All right, of course, Jordan B. Peterson. Jordan has so many different types of videos. It's not just berating you on you not doing the things you should do. Now, that's some of it, because we really do need a kick in the rear end sometimes. But there's different. It's not some of it's political, but not really at all. It's more so the working on yourself, improving yourself, continuing to move forward. That's what I love about Jordan. He always, the sovereignty and the agency of this life, which pretty much means who is in control of your life. If the answer is someone else, you're wrong. If the answer is you, congratulations. You now have the keys to your destiny. You can choose where the car goes. You are in the driver's seat. No one's going to save you. No one's going to help you. The reality is this. Nobody cares about you besides those really intimately close to you. And that shouldn't be a depressing thing. That should be if no one cares about me, that's encouraging, because all that pressure you may feel from others, a lot of times doesn't exist. People don't care. They only care about themselves and their close vicinity. So why not keep going forward? Next would be Jocko, of course. Jockos are very, very long. You see these short ones, 3.5 hours. But Jocko really, he's a man's man. I mean, that's the only way to put it. There's testosterone-filled confidence. This would be the man. This is the man. I love listening to Jocko. He has a very soothing, deep voice that makes me want to go 3 octaves lower, but I know I can't sustain it. So I have to stay in this little high-pitched voice, but that it is what it is. Jocko really, I mean, just do it. Wake up early. Just do it. And we a lot of times need that person to tell us just to do it, because a lot of times we're our best salespeople and realize, should I do it or should I not do it? You're the best salesperson on, should I stay in the bed or should I go to the gym? How many times have I said that and hit snooze and gone to sleep? Countless times. It's good to have a voice, though, that tells us keep moving forward. Lewis Howes. This is a little different. This is not by any means close to Jordan or Jocko. Lewis brings different people on who, I mean, the reality is they're just really helpful. There's Gabrielle Bernstein, read her book before. So it's just improving yourself. It's called The School of Greatness. It really helps you. I mean, fact of the matter is, help you improve yourself, helps you continue moving forward, helps you do all sorts of things, improve your physical health. like this. The 1% use these success habits to be productivity masters. That's an interesting one. I'll probably watch that one later too. The reality is this, though. There's only so much time in the day, and I choose to use my time to watch videos like this as opposed to watching whatever the newest drama on TV is. Because the reality is that you're going to forget about that. You may remember the characters or whatever, or the hot chick that was in it. That's what I usually remember. But you're not going to remember these principles that help you improve. These channels really do help that. Lewis definitely helps that. Tom Bilyeu, I don't know how to say that. Same situation, impact theory. His idea is to really make a positive impact. He was a part of Quest, which is the nutrition food company. I've actually never had their bars, but they have cool packaging. So anyway, he now has exited that and done this YouTube series for quite a long time, and just really helpful. He brings really insightful people on that help you improve every single aspect of your life. I've really enjoyed him, and he's had so many people on that I've really enjoyed. So definitely check him out. And then lastly, this one's a little different. This is Charlie with Charisma on Command. Charisma on Command has these shorter videos that really help, like how to be charming in any conversation, how to think like a genius. This really breaks down mythical characters like Captain America and things like that. Oh, actually, not mythical characters, but it shows you archetypes and shows you how to be the person that you ought to be. That means virtuous, strong, confident. It really helps all of that out. And Charlie has really good humor in it and really shows you how to communicate, because communication is super key when you're becoming confident. If you think you can't communicate and you suck at talking, you're never going to have confidence. However, these short little videos help you invoke a small thing here and a small thing there to continue improving your communication, because communication is what we do mostly with humans, and a lot of it's nonverbal. The amount of stuff I've learned from nonverbal conversation from Charlie is crazy, so definitely shout out to Charlie there. All right, then here's a practical one. Go to the gym and build muscle. Yeah, you should. You should, absolutely, starting now. If you're not exercising, lifting weights, doing something that makes the endorphins go crazy in your brain, whether it be a 30-minute walk a day, or powerlifting, clean and jerk, 235 over your head. Whatever that is, you need to do it. And I encourage weightlifting just because I've done that for many, many years. And when my body is looking as strong as it does, and it's not perfect by any means, I'm a continual work in progress, but I can look and see, wow, I've put lots and lots of effort into this, and it pays off. It's always great, and it makes you have a super confidence boost when what you're doing pays off and you can actually see it. A lot of times you can't see the mental work you do, the personal development, because you can't see it. You simply cannot. It's not visual. When you work out, though, you can see the progress, and that gets me really excited. Because I spend a lot of time working on my brain. However, the reality is our body also needs to be the temple that God has made it. Make it your temple, honor it, eat well, and also exercise. And encouragement here, find a program, stick to it, do it a few times a week. Literally, go to search engine and type in exercise program for beginners. You will find a multitude, pick one, stick to it, have at it. All right, and then lastly, number 9 is to become proficient with your money, or get good with the cash. I am super passionate about people becoming better at their finances. My goal is to impact 1 million people to improve themselves financially as well as developing personally. That's my tidbit. Hopefully by the end of my life, I can put my gravestone, 1 million people helped. That would be a win in my book. I created a 5-step guide. It's a 5-day course and a template to budget out your money. And I made that, and we're going to look at it. If you go to maxmybudget.org/start a budget. Start a budget. Super simple though. You'll be here. Type your email, type your name in, and I'll email you a budget template that you can use to begin budgeting your money, to begin preparing not for just next month, but for next year and years from now. Because the reality is, when you say, I want something, when you say I, do you mean I of today, tomorrow, next week, next year, 10 years? The reality is, I is actually a community of people. And we want to make sure that the I of me is also honoring the I of tomorrow. And how you do that is by becoming proficient with your money, and make sure to download the budget template. I walk through each step how to do it. Have at it. Also some recommended reading, because I love reading, and I think that's the best way you can get the most amount of knowledge in the shortest amount of time. First book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. This is probably one of the most instrumental books in my financial life. It's exactly what the title says. It's what the rich teach their kids about money, and the poor middle class do not. The reality is, I graduated in college with a finance degree. Do you know how many personal finance classes I had to take? There was one, and it was a recommended or elective class. So I took 0 personal finance classes, and I graduated college in the United States with a bachelor's degree in finance. How backwards is that? This book really helps you figure out how money actually works, how taxes actually work, and how to combine the two so you pay less tax and make more money. Don't we all want that? Next, Richest Man in Babylon. This is a really good one. There's 10. I think there's 10 tenets of finance in here. The first one of the first ones is keep 10% of everything you make and do not spend it. Keep it as an emergency in case you need it. Most people, I think it's a huge number of people in America don't even have $1,000 in their savings account in case an emergency happened. If you had to go to the car repair facility, that's crazy. You want to become super proficient with money, and this book really helps. It's actually set in Babylon a long time ago. It's a narrative. It's more like a novel, and it reads like a novel, so it's really enjoyable. It's not quite as boring as nonfiction as some people say. Then lastly, Think and Grow Rich. This one's a little more mystical, I would say, a little more spiritual. Napoleon Hill interviewed Andrew Carnegie and talks about Carnegie's principles. Andrew Carnegie, I don't know if you know, but was the richest man to ever be on the face of this earth, and probably the richest man to ever have lived or live in the future. He was worth the equivalent of 2021 dollars, about $300 billion, which is about 3 times Jeff Bezos, who's about 100 billion, or Elon Musk, somewhere in there. But anyway, $300 billion. Crazy. So this is about his principles and what Carnegie did in his life to upgrade his life and become, the huge business magnate he was. Napoleon Hill has a lot of other good books, but this is one that really helped me in the foundation of finances. Well, that's my 9 steps on how to get more confident. They're all really important. I would start implementing number 1 starting today in your life. Go to the gym, get a membership if you haven't already. Yes, do it today. Don't wait. Why wait? Give me a good reason on why you should wait another day. You've waited this many days. Just go do it. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys on the next one.